looking right, scans, throws it right corner of the end zone. Montana's out there.
Touchdown. He just signaled touchdown.
There you go. Touchdown, Colorado.
Holy tamale.
What a catch. In the end zone prior to going
out of the shotgun. He's got to throw to the end zone. He rifles that one. Incomplete. Incomplete in overtime. And Buff Nation, the long wandering journey through the desert is open for the first time in 2022. In the first game with Mike Sanford as the interim head coach, the Buffaloes finally win 20-13 in overtime. Finally, the Buffaloes get a win. There's a phenomenal catch by Montana Limonius Craig. That wasn't, then they overturned it on replay, and then the incompletion as the Buffaloes get their first win of 2022 after a coaching change, and now 1-5, but 20-13 in overtime. They get the victory. Coach Gary Barnett, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. You can just feel the relief, can't you?
Mark, I've been telling you since we've been working together, since 2004, how important coaching is.
Sure. Yeah, he's not biased at all, though, is he? You know, I will say this, and listen, we all love Carl Durrell, right? And a coaching change happened. We understand that happens in this business, and sometimes when that happens, it's like you can see teams. I mentioned last week in a pregame. Last week, interim coaches were 4-0. There's something about releasing that pressure for young guys to let them go and have some fun that does something for teams, I think.
It is, and it's, you know, it doesn't always happen, right. but it has happened here, and it happened this weekend, and you know, it was you got to give everybody a piece of credit for this.
Yep.
And I, you know, in a way, I'm happy for Carl because those are Carl's guys.
Yes, they are.
You know, and he wanted them to win more than anything else, and so I'm sure for him to hear about them or see the fact that they won, that he's gonna smile somewhere. But today it was all about our crowd, all about how hard we played, how important the energy was that was on the field, and it showed the whole game.
Gary, there was a big difference out there. I mean, that defense was running around like their hair was on fire. The worst rushing defense in America held Cal to 35 rushing yards. They made plays. They got pressure on opposing quarterbacks. It's more than just emotion. When you looked out there, what were they doing defensively made a difference?
Well, they were playing a little different style. They were much more penetrating defense. They had to be very gap conscious because when you penetrate, somebody's got to be in the other gap, and so. But they were very disciplined with that today. But they were moving their guys, not letting themselves get blocked. They weren't depending on getting off blocks. They were getting off of them immediately, and it made a big difference.
Well, the Buffaloes get the win in overtime, 20-13. We talk about the energy difference in his team. A lot of that comes from the interim head coach, Mike Sanford, who's an energy guy, and we heard from him after the ballgame. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
I want these guys to continue to have the best time of their lives for these next 6 weeks, and you know, this isn't a one-game deal for us. We're looking to move on and make this a trend. This place is special. We know how special it is, and I want these seniors to go out with the best possible experience they can have, and that starts next week again in Corvallis. But I will say we're going to enjoy this one tonight. There were just so many moments today. Winning football games, it's a combination of a lot of individual plays and players, and I'm just so proud of that defensive unit, how they responded to the adversity and the challenge, and what you saw is a group of defensive players that I believe is dang good. I believe that since the moment I stepped foot on this campus, and they rose together, and our offense really clicked when we needed to, and we all, I feel like we fought for Deion Smith, and he was in our hearts and will continue to be in our prayers. You know, it looked like it was a positive update on the field, though.
Well, there is interim head coach Mike Sanford after the Buffaloes win 20-13 as they knock off in overtime. By the way, the Cal Golden Bears. We continue with Gary Barnett. How about the offensive side of the ball? The numbers weren't spectacular. Now, they did have over 300 yards. They went over 200 yards passing, over 100 yards rushing in this ball game. What'd you see there?
A lot to clean up.
Yep.
You know, you had 5 drop balls. You had 3 penalties on just critical plays that it always seems to happen that way, but they were. You know, we had a number of missed blocking assignments. And, you know, we could have played better offensively than we did today. And that's what the coach is going to work on. But what you saw was a change of quarterbacks. A guy came in and he made some plays. And I'm not saying he made the difference in the game, but to come off the bench and do what he did is really a feat for him, and I'm really proud of him, and I'm sure Mike is as well. But you saw a real team effort. You know, they didn't quit; they kept fighting, And we haven't seen that all year.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, J.T. Shrout came in, and by the way, Mike Sanford, we talked to him at the Colorado Football Network afterward, made it very clear. He said, we're not claiming this is a wholesale change, but Owen was a little dinged up, so he started. J.T. came in. We'll see where that goes as the week unfolds. We got to go to that touchdown catch in overtime by Montana Lamonius Craig. It was the touchdown that wasn't. They called him out of bounds. And then they saw it. You and I didn't see it. That it was even a chance. The foot was down. That's a great. I mean, that's a great catch. I don't care what game or what league you're talking about.
Well, and it was a far corner, so I really couldn't even see it on the booth. I had to sort of watch it on television to see if he was possibly in, and it just looked like that he was out so far that it wasn't going to be a catch. And you and I didn't even object to the fact that it should be reviewed, but. When on the review, and thanks to Andy Lindahl, his picture, I mean, it was a great play. You can't make a better play than that. We had it.
You can tell he's in a good mood if he's thanking Andy, by the way. We're talking Andy here very quickly. This doesn't fix everything, but it's a feel good. It's a step in the right direction. Now they've got to take this and go to Corvallis next week.
It's a 6-day fix, though, and it feels really good. It's going to feel good all week.
No doubt about it. Yeah, coaches after one. I don't care if you're coaching or doing it already. You got a smile on your face after a victory. The crowd was electric today here at Folsom Field. Buffs get the win in overtime. We're going to talk with our silent reporter Andy Lindahl coming up next here in the Stampede.